Welcome to Sunday Tea with Alona
and Aleece.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Hope your day is going well and you're ready for a new episode, new information, and continuous portion of what we've already started. We shall continue with some questions that we have got from our audience, right? And some of them are definitely worth bringing up to everybody's attention. So,
Well, when you're called a liar, then yeah.
a liar?
Well, a lot of people think that what we just put out there.
Now I understand the liar
Yeah.
portion. Okay. Yes.
A lot of people think that what we just put out for our new marketing for Sunday Tea that we
As
use
cover photo.
as a cover photo. You've probably seen it. If not, go to the page. That we used AI to achieve that effect. So I have to say, with our questions from our audience specifically, is our new cover photo real or is it AI generated? Because it's real.
And believe me, AI can do a fantastic job, but so can we.
Oh, yeah. And I have to say that I learned a lot about modeling.
And I learned quite a bit about posing with objects. So we did we did a photo shoot between Aleece and I. Nobody else got involved in it. It was just two of us. The key thing between two of us is that we are spontaneous people. We like trying things, and we
like a challenge.
We like a challenge. And when either Aleece or I bring something into attention, we both always or almost always jump on board without thinking twice. Well, this was one of those things that I myself offered it to her, yet I did not try any of the poses. Neither one of those.
I think the conversation went along the lines of, hey, Aleece, what do you think? With a picture attached of a model, right? A professional model who's already achieved this in probably a cover magazine, whatever. And I said, yeah, I can put my leg up, no big deal. I do yoga, we're good, I'm flexible. Not a problem. Then
That problem. Because it wasn't as easy as the picture shows, and of course the dingling of the cup on top of Aleece's foot told me right away how difficult it was.
And then Alona was like, we could switch poses, if we wanted to. And this was before obviously it all happened. But the dingling of the teacup on top of my foot started making Alona laugh. And of course then Alona wasn't taking the pictures. And then I was like, how much longer?
So we had fun definitely doing the cover, and the process was very entertaining for sure.
Yes.
Hence the extra giggling and extra laughter that we have every time at Sunday Tea, because it brings memory to my mind, and so it just creates it.
Also, Alona, she had the chair over herself. She was balancing the chair, lifted up off the ground. Yeah, that was a riot. So I think we will probably the plan is to send some bloopers behind the scenes more so that you can actually see that it's not AI.
At that point, you'll definitely be able to see it's not AI.
Yes.
Well, and moving on to another question. Alita is the one who asked us, why are we doing Sunday Tea together? And what is the mission behind it? Well, I guess we've covered or answered that question a little bit here and there, but we've never given a mission statement as it sits. So our goal for Sunday Tea is to empower women through meaningful conversations on intentional style and lifestyle choices, rebuilding confidence, strengthening self-worth, and helping them step into their fullest potential. So when you join us for a Sunday Tea, you will be a part of a conversation that involves style, that involves clothing, fashion, lifestyle. It involves fitness, health, any basically part of our existence, simply because life is not all about just one aspect.
Yeah,
it
and
involves
much more. And we talk about this in all of our episodes of saying that the external affects the internal, and the internal affects the external. So they coincide. They are the yin and yang. They are the balance of who we are. And so we always want to address all of those topics and what that pertains to us and how we can help you as a viewer. And that also doesn't just involve women, but we are women focused. So if you're viewing and watching, we hope that you try and listen to our tips and tricks and things and opinions and perspectives, and maybe you'll come out on the other side a little bit better.
So today's topic, we have leave your junk in the trunk. Already brings the laughter. And I'm sure you got the giggles too, because it's a funny one. But the subtitle is letting go of relationships that are holding you back. So it gives you a little bit more of the deeper understanding what the topic is.
And
so,
I just think of the music of that song of the junk in your trunk. So that's where my giggle comes from. I don't know about anyone else.
Maybe somebody else thinks about other junk and other trunk. So today we'll dive into discussing the relationship, the toxic relationships, and how they affect our life. What junk in the trunk really means?
Yeah.
How would you describe it, Aleece?
Well, I mean, that junk in the trunk is the stuff that's, why would you want to carry it, or why are you carrying it? Maybe it's there already, and it's just back there as, I don't want to say emotional support, but like also you might be holding it on as a lesson learned, right? So you have that junk in the trunk because it's a lesson that you've learned and you're still bringing it along for the ride, or also that like junk that you want to leave that junk in the trunk because you don't want it. You don't want to have anything to do with it. It's leave it in the past. The trunk is the past. Forget about it. Move on. Take that ride and just go
Far away.
Yeah, far away. I just love that phrase, leave your junk in the trunk, actually is a broader point of view than most people would have that as being like a defined, like this is what it actually means.
I also think that any basically old relationship that consumes you and you do not want to deal with, can also be added to the trunk.
And when you talk about relationships, right, having relationships that, are built on guilt or obligation or like history of disrespect, you just don't want to have that be, a part of your current life. So why would you bring them along? Alona,
why do they deserve a front seat in your life?
Yeah, or even a back seat. I mean, seriously.
Any seat. And how many seats can one have?
Yes. And that's really hard because when we talk about those relationships, they pertain to every aspect of our life. Sometimes, I actually just had this conversation with a client. You have people and connections, right? And connections are great. They can be worth something. Like, I know this person that has ties with, let's just say, glass as an, glass. Like, I need to replace all my windows, and I would need them in a couple of years when I gotta replace all. But then why would you bring that, person that has the connection to glass for a couple years? I bet you anything that in that couple years of holding on to them for that connection, and it's probably going to be draining you, rather than if you opened up to a possibility of maybe making a new connection of someone that had connections to glass would probably appear because you need it. You're manifesting it like, I don't have that connection anymore, so I need a new one. So I also think of that, of letting go, of leaving the junk in the trunk, leaves more space. We've talked about that, of opening up new space for new opportunities, and it leaves space for someone else to hop in the ride, essentially. An analogy is going to keep going on this.
Yes. Well, and yes, talking about the somebody else jumping along with the ride. We have so many times situations, or I guess maybe it's not situations, but so many times when we change our mindset, our behavior changes, of course, along with it, and our circle of friends, of people that we know, gets affected by it. So your immediate circle, which are your family members, your parents, husband, wife, children, that's your immediate circle. As you go outside of that one, the next one is the medium circle, and that is your best friends, people you share deeper thoughts. You let them into your life more than your associates that you might see a couple of times a year, or you even work with them on day-to-day basis, but they're definitely farther away, distant, and staying away without having any emotional attachment to you.
Like, you have more control with your medium circle because you're allowing them into your space more than, let's just say, your coworkers.
Yes, yes. So as we work and we interact with people, they end up taking us in certain way. By taking, I mean that they interact back with us in a certain way. And if they created already a picture of us, and we are making a step towards the change, for them, just like you, it's not going to be easy, but for them, they already have an image of you in their head, and they are used to your specific behavior. We mentioned about being late at the last episode. So if you have a habit of being late, and all of a sudden you promise that you will show up, they will still might continue to believe that you will be late. And their belief actually might affect you. So there might be something like a traffic jam or something that will actually cause that the reason for you to be late, even though you.
Oh, sure, or the question of or when you do arrive on time, like, oh, you're here, like, unexpected. Like, right? Yes, I am. I told you I was going to be here on time.
So. Things like that will definitely happen, and often some people will join on board with you with your new life changes and excitement that you are moving towards the progress, and some people are just gonna be stuck to the old you and won't let go of it.
Or so like the other circle where the people who are actually in support, that are rooting you on and doing all the things, like, yes,
correct,
get it, thank you.
Yes, you have those who are all up for the change, and those who are actually bringing you down. Why are you doing this? What's the point of it? You've done it so many times and you have failed. Why continue doing this? Things like that. Evaluate who are those people and who belongs to be sitting on the first row of your life, and who needs to be in the back or just even kicked out of your life. So those people who are in your life should be evaluated based on their behavior and how they react towards you, so that way you can have a much easier route for change.
And with that, we have some bullet points, some signs of a relationship that is holding you back. I think that's a really great way to go, so that maybe you're not seeing it clearly. Maybe you need a little red flag and someone else to tell you that this is a sign that they're holding you back. So one is you feel drained after seeing them or talking to them, or you don't feel that inspiration, right? I always feel like with you and I, it's like, oh, we could do this next time. Oh, right? It's like you want to keep going. You are excited about the next time that you actually see that person rather than being like, oh my gosh, now I gotta sit home and like take a breather and relax, right? You shrink, over-explain, or walk on eggshells. They compete with you instead of celebrating you, which we talked about. They make jokes at your expense or minimize your dreams. I have to add on to this because I for years had a lot of relationships that I thought like were that uplifting, like they would be uplifting, but then with all of my lovely, crazy ideas in my brain, they're like, that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. And I was like, really? And honestly, in my list of to-dos and my list of goals and my list of dreams and all the things where I'm like, let's just think crazy. Let's just go outside the box and let's put them all down. I've probably done 20 of those things that someone told me that I could not do. And those relationships do not exist in my life anymore because I realized that. So,
and before you move on to the next one,
yeah.
I would like to also add an example of my own because
yes, please.
In my previous experience, relationships, I shared an idea of what I would like to do. Similar situation, the guy tells me that it's gonna take so much time. You need this and this and this, and I said that's okay. I'm ready to do all of the work and steps, and I'll find it. I'll figure it out. If you can help me with a couple of things, that will be great. But I would love to do this, and he just was not ready for it. Well, I changed my relationships, and I shared the same idea with my current husband. We did it.
It's not, let's go.
Yes. He was all on board in it. He's like, okay, so we need to do this, this, and this. I have this person who can help me. I have that. If you can figure it out, these angles, then we can do it. That is the difference between somebody who is supportive and is on board with you and wants your success versus the person who's only looking for either a benefit or just doesn't want to be deeply involved with you, who's not a real partner in life.
And there could be the other aspect, which my husband is greatly about that, where he brings me down from sky high to like reality. And he does. He's my great sounding board where it's like, okay, but let's just talk about how that would look like. So he brings me back and you're like,
and where the time comes from. That's what Brian does. Yes, we can do all of that.
But there's the buts.
Yeah, reality check.
Yes.
Which is great.
Which is good. And it's not that unsupportive. You really want that person who's like, yeah, I'm in. But let's look at all the ways and the versions and what that looks like.
And when we can do it.
Yeah.
Because emotions can drive us great to that item that you are, something that you want to do, the dream of yours, but it also can take you away from current work that you are doing, and it also needs your time, dedication, and everything. So it can be a positive and a negative.
Yep. And then we've got, they only show up when it benefits them. They guilt you when you set boundaries.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt that so much. It's like, yeah, when you set that boundary of like, I need to take time for myself. I need to do this. I'm sorry. And it's like, well, you didn't do this with me. You didn't do this. It's like, they shouldn't guilt you. They should be that respecting your boundaries of like, wow, you're actually listening to yourself. You're making boundaries. That should actually bring on praise and more respect in my mind. So,
yeah. And another thing that also is a sign of not healthy relationship is actually the further down effect, which affects your health. Your body reflects all of the negativity that has been stored, and all of a sudden, or not all of a sudden, over time, after coping, it actually shows up in a form of as easy as migraines,
inflammation, for sure. I say to my clients all the time, and I'm like, how's home life? What are we doing? What's our habits? Mm-hmm. And a lot says about it in the body. It can happen.
I know that current medicine treats results, but it doesn't treat actual cause of whatever's happening in the body. Mm-hmm. So before or along, depending on what's going on. But it's very helpful to evaluate the actual cost, because if you can figure out the cost, you can basically remove the physical effect just on its own. And I have a great example where, again, in my previous relationships, it's as simple as a wart on my foot. And I knew that I tried evaluating, but I couldn't quite pinpoint what exactly was causing it. I thought it was this, I thought it was that, and no, it wasn't. So I tried regular medicine, conventional medicine.
Western,
I tried a couple of things, and it still would not help me. The word continued to come back, and then I realized that no matter what I'm gonna try, it's still gonna come back. It's like cancer, for instance. Sometimes it's, of course, the worst case scenario, but if the cancer comes back, it's not because the treatment did not work. It's because whatever's happening in the person's life is causing so much pain that it continues to build in such a fast pace, grow, that nothing is gonna help. So, long story short, I break the relationship finally completely, do not communicate with the person, and all of a sudden, the word disappears without doing anything. And I completely forgot even about that thing. And
so the wart left with a wart.
Correct. And one day I just realized I don't have pain in my foot, because prior to that it was bothering me so much that no matter what shoes I wore, it was painful for me. So as simple as a word, but was related to the experience that I had in my previous relationship. Things like that is another indicator that something else is going on that we don't think about, and we don't tie it to relationships. We just think external body. That's it.
Yep. And what's great is that with this, we can have that growth, and growth requires discomfort.
That's
like literally physical discomfort.
We just actually, Aleece and I had that conversation, and Aleece shared with me, she said, every time I'm gonna quote you.
Yeah, please, yeah.
And I may not quote her
it's
directly,
I'm
but
here. It's okay.
Every time the growth or have happened, it was related to pain, challenges, but those were the greatest moments for me to rise and shine. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's what discomfort is associated with, in a sense, because if we are just floating and nothing is bothering us, we're not progressing. Mm-hmm. We're actually doing the opposite. We're degrading. Yeah. Where if your life is like an airplane up in the sky and it's flying during a storm and turbulence and is high, then you're making progress, because it's something that you have not done before. It means that you are changing your life, changing for better.
Shaking you up, literally.
Yes. And that is growth. That's as painful, as discomforting as it is, but it's a necessary thing to move forward. And sometimes breaking those relationships, those toxic relationships, or toxic, not pleasant, whatever, not beneficial, whatever you want to call them, takes effort, takes time. You may not be able to break them away right away. It may actually take a couple of times. In my experience, it took me 3 times to break up with my ex-partner one time. I hear you, girlfriend. Because I couldn't do it. There was not enough strength in me to do that.
Well, let alone, in that moment, we love them. Or we think we love them, right? But
and
that's the thing. It's like, oh, we love them. We think that this is love. And so that attachment is like, why would we leave something that we love?
And another thing, besides the idea of love, when we say we think we love them, it's good to analyze, what do we actually love about the person? Because often what's packaged in a form of love is actually either fear or a benefit. Fear of being alone for the rest of your life and not being able to do better than what you just had.
Fear of not having your glass windows installed.
Correct. Fear of, oh, hold on one second. I have some notes here because I did put down emotional or physical support. If you're not emotionally strong and you do require that comfort and you lose that, your entire world might be shaken in this moment, and fear of not being able to come back from it is the most terrifying thing. So you as our bodies prevent us from failure in a sense, we continue to hold on to something that's not healthy just to benefit from that one thing that is more imaginary than it is real.
And as an example of the fear, my previous relationship was an abusive one, physically and mentally. And my fear was that I'd be losing the friends that were associated with that relationship.
Yep.
Because it's like, oh, well then how would they believe me? It's a he said, she said kind of thing. And even if I had proof, which I did, it's like still like you're destroying essentially that whole circle, shaking it up. And really, to me, the fear was rooted. Okay, guess what? This circle doesn't mean as much to me, and the people who do feel for me and believe me and trust me, they'll still be connected to me, and it doesn't matter because they do support me. They are a healthy relationship, and they won't take sides or whatever. Not that I ever asked, but still, it's that was a driving fear, and I didn't want to. But my fear was in the end of like something even more catastrophic could have happened. So.
And along with that comes criticism and
shame, guilt,
yes,
all of the things.
Judgment that we are so not in favor of. And who wants to be judged? Who wants to?
It's hard.
Yes.
At this point, I don't care. But it's also like when you know someone is judging you and you can see it on their face. It's like, oh, really? You're doing this to me right now? Okay.
And of course, behind fear or besides fear, we have the hidden benefits that we might either realize or not even realize that we have towards that person. Like Aleece said, the window glass person, right? You want the windows, and yes, they're expensive. It's best to get the 20% off, but the 20% off comes with a lot of emotional baggage, which you underestimate.
Yeah.
So things like that, including financial. So basically, either you are getting supported by your partner in one way or another, and of course that plays a big part in your lifestyle and lifestyle. If your partner is handyman or handy woman,
yeah,
that's another great one. Why wouldn't you want somebody who, if you bought a house and it needs renovation, why wouldn't you want somebody to
hop on board and do all the things with you?
Correct.
Yeah.
You would rather put up with whatever is going on than lose somebody who can do all of this work, because in reality, to do remodeling does take a lot of time and also financial efforts.
And when you're next to each other 24/7 doing it, it's a I don't want to say a struggle. It's a work in progress, literally.
And then, of course, there's another type that might include just as simple as being able to come out of the situation on a high horse or on the white horse. Meaning, if something needs to be resolved, a partner is there to help you out.
100%. Drops everything.
Yes, drops everything. Finds answers. Physically helps out. Whatever else that is going on, he is there to assist you in emotional or physical way.
And if they can't, they'll bring you 12 different solution options for you to decide what you want to do.
Yes. So that crutch that you are holding on to is what's keeping your relationships alive, but only on such a short leash, in a sense, that it just it hurts you more without you realizing that it actually helps you.
Yeah. So then the big thing would be the ask of, for you at home, the viewers, is to do the front seat test. So ask these questions to yourself. Do they inspire me or exhaust me? Do they respect my boundaries? Do I feel safe being myself? Do they support my growth, or do they make me feel small? And that's really great questions for, like, you could really dive into further on all of those, even more little mini questions, because they cover a lot.
And they will definitely give you a good understanding whether that person is somebody who helps you on a long run or he helps you on a short-term basis. I also would not encourage to break the relationships right away. That is something that you want to do when you are comfortable.
Yeah.
When you have taken time to figure out what are those relationships for and why you're in them. We've talked with Aleece at our previous episode the benefit of what was that last
The
one?
pain?
No. Well, yes, the pain. Basically, that everything that happens with us is for a reason. It has a purpose and it has the reason.
Yeah.
So breaking a relationship without having answers doesn't make sense, because you're gonna step into exactly the same thing or a version of what you just had. A lot of times people break up because they are fed up, but they don't have answer why they were in that relationship.
Yeah.
What is the reason behind it? What I've learned from it? If you have not learned from those relationships, then you should stay in there for as long as you need to. Take it as much as you can. Because as my husband says, time will straighten things out.
Yes.
I don't think it's the time itself that will, but with time, you will find answers. Time will give you opportunity to see somebody's different face, as people say.
Oh yeah.
You will get clarity. You will build strength to break the relationship. You will change yourself in order to move on without hurting yourself, comfortably, gracefully.
Yeah.
Walking
In the sense
away
of,
from the
if you're in an
relationship.
abusive relationship, please leave, get help. But I know where you're going, where it's like a friendship where it's toxic, let's just say, and you're like, oh, I do want to break this off, but I'm not really sure what that's going to look like. Maybe in a month, and in that month you're going to see each other at parties or having hangouts. Then you evaluate, like, how are they actually treating me? How are they interacting with me? What is the outcome? So that you can kind of also, again, answer those questions, but further, because now you're evaluating and more aware of what's going on rather than kind of oblivious to what's happening and what you need to learn in general.
So with these tips and evaluation ideas, I hope that whomever is watching you will, if you're not in happy, healthy relationship with yourself, then you will get the necessary steps to get there, because that is the most valuable state that does exist. The happy relationship comes with other people, starts with you. And if you are not happy with yourself, then you won't build a relationship with other people. So take the time, figure out what is working with you, with other people, and take appropriate steps. Of course, like we've said, everything takes time. You may not be able to do that right away, and it may require a couple of times. As before we finish up, I'll just mention, for me, it was shaken in my voice to the point that I couldn't talk. The loss of thoughts and ideas when I tried to break up with my ex-partner, and breaking up and then still going back. Things like that were just challenging. But as you do it, you realize that, or as you do it and you've moved on, you realize that those were great learning points, learning curves in your life, and you see how you grow from there. And of course, with Valentine coming up, it's the perfect timing to get hit with a Cupid arrow and start this year on the fresh note. So we thank you for. Oh, let's see. We have a comment there also from Alita, right at the bottom there.
Hello, queens.
Queens
of the world.
Hi, Alita.
Thank you.
Thank you for a beautiful comment. So we'll see you guys next time, next week. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you on January 25th for the Permission to Begin.
Permission to begin. Cheers. Cheers.